Being a challenger brand means everything to Virgin Atlantic. It's really how we position ourselves in the marketplace, and it's really about how we define our difference.
I think for me, challenger brand is a two-word story, actually, wrongly. It's seen to be a two-word story. When you say those words, people understand it to mean one of two very specific narratives, okay? It either means David versus Goliath, which is essentially about picking a fight with a big guy, make it really noisy, call them out, get lots of news coverage, put your nose up in their face, okay? That's one challenger brand narrative. Or it's the kind of creative anarchist, change everything, blow up every convention to succeed. If you talk about challenger brands, people tend to think it means one of those two stories. And challenger brands are shorthand for doing one of those two things. And actually, of course, if you look at the brands that have gone this way before, you can see why people think that. You can see, you know, Avis, Pepsi Challenge, Apple 1984, very good examples of the first of those two. But the fact is, actually, if you look at some of the most seminal challengers from the last 10, 15 years, there's a huge variety of different kinds of challenger brand in there. And it's overly simplistic to reduce it to just those two narratives. So I'm going to be slightly less simplistic and reduce it to just 12.
One of the biggest things that we've learnt is, as the challenger brand, the opportunity to be emotional with your brand brings about a lot of fun. And actually, it's also very cheap to be emotional with your brand. Whereas often, a lot of big brands that have such rational requirements when you become the market leader, in order to continue to get the trust of the consumer, you have to act in a rational way, in many ways, to ensure the consumer doesn't exit through the side door. But as a challenger brand, being emotional, deliberately emotional, and sometimes in an emotional way which a lot of people feel is quite flippant. But actually it's not really flippant, it's entertaining. And my background is from the film industry and the football industry, and entertainment actually is what lots of people look for in their brands.
We have stayed independent because we feel that enables us to continue to be a challenge in our market. And a lot of the clients that we work with are challengers as well, not necessarily because of their size, but I think because of their attitude and the way that they approach things. And if we've had any success, I think it's really come from that independence and that willingness to challenge category conventions, think different, take a fresh approach. When you walk into the reception of our offices in London's fashionable East End, we have this mannequin with a blender for a head, and written on his briefcase it says, "Walk in stupid every morning." And that comes from a saying by our founder Dan Wyden, that basically that conventional wisdom is history, and whatever you're working on, something somewhere has changed overnight. And you need to recognise that we're all stupid and that we need to come up with fresh ideas and new approaches, because otherwise the competition will eat our lunch. So it's there to remind ourselves that that's what we're there to do, and the smart thing is to recognise how stupid we are.
In this hugely changed world, marketing seems to carry on in roughly the same way. You know, hair ads have been like this, shampoo ads, hair colour ads have been like this as long as I can remember. And I kind of thank God for what Neil has been doing, and for, you know, what Cadbury's did recently, because, you know, without that I think I would feel really predominantly suicidal. In fact, we were having a conversation about the world of packaging design, which is really kind of what we started off doing originally, in the office some time ago, and we just said, well, it's all like bloody wallpaper, isn't it? It all looks the same. It's just like wallpaper. So we actually designed our own wallpaper, and we sent it out to the clients and said, do you realise this is the truth? In this world where people are individuals and people are leading lives which have changed beyond all measure, we're still selling detergent powder, toothpaste and cider. Of course, the duty has just gone up on that, but we're still selling these products in exactly the same way as we've always sold them. Why are we doing that? Why hasn't marketing learnt kind of new lessons? I've spent my 13 years of running this business what we call kind of creating difference and provoking reaction.
I think for us, being different is always remembering to challenge convention. So it doesn't matter if the convention is Airbus or Boeing, or how we sell the aircraft ticket to you, or what you're experiencing traditional. I suppose it's traditional, and what you deem as traditional is convention, and those are the things that should be challenged.